Every day we scroll through social media and search the World Wide Web. But what most users don't know is that every second we're creating new data. The book Everybody Lies, Big Data, New Data, and What the Internet Can Tell Us About Who We Really Are by Seth Stevens Davidowitz gives a deeper look into the data trail we leave behind. While the book offers a shocking dose of reality, there's no denying that it is a truth we're still learning how to navigate, that truth being the science of big data. So, what is big data? According to the search engine that this book is based upon, Google, big data is extremely large data sets that may be analyzed computationally to reveal patterns, trends, and associations, especially relating to human behavior and interactions. So you might be wondering how Google gets their big data. According to the book Everybody Lies, users willingly provide this data. Every time we search for something on Google, for example, symptoms of influenza, or buy something online, and even use our social media, we are generating big data. So as you can see, it's not very hard to obtain because it's virtually everywhere. To be more specific, according to TDWI, Google alone processes on average more than 40,000 search queries every second, which roughly translates to more than 3.5 billion searches daily. So it's safe to say big data is just beginning, and the book Everybody Lies gives great insight on what's happening now and what's yet to come in the world of big data. After reading the book Everybody Lies, I gained a new perspective on data, how it's constantly evolving, and how nearly everyone is contributing to this lucrative science. All in all, I did enjoy this book. However, it does not come without fault. I found there were a couple major negatives about this book. For starters, there were a lot of inconsistencies in how the author portrayed some of the subject matter. For instance, there's a portion of the book that discusses horse racing and the science behind that, and then further into the book, the author talks about the top searches between men and women in India. So there wasn't much correlation between a lot of the subject matter presented, and I felt it was hard to follow because there wasn't much consistency, and the author did provide a lot of thought provoking information. So I felt the book could benefit from a little bit more organization. Next, there was a lot of sexually explicit content in this book when the author discussed some searches that users typically type into Google or search for in Google and on the internet in general. And I felt that that was a major drawback to this book because it took away from the validity of some of the author's really intriguing, interesting findings. So I thought that the author could benefit from a little bit less discussion of the more sexually explicit content in this book. While there were some negatives about this book, I felt that the positives far outweighed them. The main thing that I enjoyed about Everybody Lies is the level of honesty that the author provided throughout the book. There's not many books in this topic where the author just point blank lays out everyone who gets on their cell phone or gets on the internet and searches or buys products or gets on their social media is leaving behind a data trail that contributes to big data. And I just really enjoyed the honesty throughout this book. Another great aspect of this book was the relevance, which goes hand in hand with the honesty because it was relevant to everyone who is involved in the internet, which basically is everyone. And it is relevant to today's society, how we're so fast paced and involved. And I really enjoyed that. There's another book over this same topic called Big Data, a revolution that will transform how we live, work, and think. But this book doesn't even compare to Everybody Lies because, for starters, it doesn't even discuss much about Google, which Big Little Lies refers to as somewhat of a truth serum that has been a major breakthrough to a lot of big data. Beyond that, Big Data, a Revolution, is geared more towards technology firms and the data supply chains. So unlike Everybody Lies, it doesn't really apply to everyday people who are contributing to data. So I really enjoyed Everybody Lies because of the honesty and relevance throughout this book.